It is Naomi's moment, but much of the story, as it always is, centers around Serena Williams.
And now our champion, Naomi Osaka.
I know that everyone was cheering for her, and I'm sorry it had to end like this. I just want to say thank you for watching the match. Thank you.
I know it just happened, Naomi, and it's still sinking in, but what does it mean to you?
Well, it was always my dream to play Serena in the US Open finals. So I'm really glad that I was able to do that, and I'm really grateful I was able to play with you. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today about this weekend's tennis match between Naomi Osaka and Japan's Naomi Osaka and Serena Williams. So this would have, I can understand the emotionality behind Serena Williams being very upset and very frustrated, knowing that at this point, if she would have won this title right here, this particular one, I guess, be tied with some other person of all time in tennis for the most wins of that event. I can't remember what it was, US Open or whatever, I have no idea. Anyways, I don't follow tennis per se all that much, but I know of it, and I know a lot of players in tennis. I used to watch it as a, what do you call it, a armchair fan, and I'm going in this with you knowing that. So Miss Osaka played a good game. She played a very good, patient game. She was very poised, didn't show any emotion in her face, which I really, really, really loved. You know, she was just, you knew that she was just dangerous, you know, and I'm not sure if she knows herself that she's that dangerous, you know, how good of a player she is, for, you know, how she was able to get her idol, Serena Williams, to basically lose against her. Okay, so here's where a lot of drama begins. Serena gets very upset because some penalty was called on her, and then she proceeds to start arguing with the I don't know what you call that person in the middle of the ref. You know I really love tennis, don't you? Anyways, she argues with him about, you know, points and stuff and how it's a bad call and whatnot, and then it proceeds to get downhill from there. She gets to a point where she hits a racket down on the ground, it breaks.
Code violation, racket abuse, point penalty, Mrs. Williams.
After Serena aced, double fault, backhand error, and took it out of the frame. It's a code violation. You add that to the earlier code violation she received for coaching memorandum, that's a point penalty. Extremely rare in a Grand Slam finals.
You know, she's called on all these things, and then the next one around, and I might be switching these around, but there was one where she basically said, "You're a thief" to Mr. Ramos on the whatever he is, the ref. I'm just going to call him the ref.
Yeah. Serena was watching her coach give her a hand signal.
Verbal abuse.
And now,
penalty, Mrs. Williams.
Wow. Game penalty.
And she kept being persistent, and then she kept saying, you know, this is where us as minorities need to shut the fuck up, because it makes no sense we can progress. We don't have to be looking bad as a whole if we just, I mean, do we have to pull an Omarosa like this? Do we really have to be doing this all the time? And Al Sharpton and Omarosa, basically Serena Williams did that. Hey, what's her face? Linda Sarsour here. She basically pulled out, I'm a woman. I'm fighting for my daughter, and I'm doing this all for her.
You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. I have never cheated in my life. I have a daughter, and I stand what's right for her, and I've never cheated. And you owe me an apology. You will never do that.
And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that have to do with this match? What the fuck does this have to do with you breaking a racket, basically calling the ref a thief? It has nothing to do with that. And then you say that men, okay, now you're playing the sexist card. You're saying that men wouldn't be getting fined for these kind of antics as well. Well,
You know my character. And that's not right. This is not fair. This has happened to me too many times. This is not fair. This is not fair. But to give me a point to lose a game for whoever is saying that is not fair. I mean, it's really not. Right. But you know how many other men do things that are, I don't think they do much worse than that. This is not fair. There's a lot of men out here that have said a lot of things, and because there are men, that doesn't happen to them. If I say a simple thing, a thief because he stole a point from me, that does not make, there are men out here that do a lot worse, but because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman, you're going to take this away from me? Because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman, you're going to take this away from me? That is not right. You know it, and I know you can't admit it, but I know you know it's not right.
I'm sorry, but you know what? I had to take a little history course yesterday in tennis, and I do see that John McEnroe was definitely the potty mouth of the world, and he would get penalized for some of these things. I'm not sure of all. I'm not going to say that I know the whole thing, but he did get penalized and cost him some points, and it cost him some games. So to call a sexist remark like that when this guy, and again, even in your post-interview meeting, you did say, you know, I've never had a problem with Ramos. He's always been a good ref. So kudos to you on that. But I mean, for you to play that card because it was obvious you were frustrated, because it's obvious, you know, in your mind you probably had another distraction, and that was number 24 title for you here. And you know, Osaka was just more poised, patient, and it was I think it was a little bit of a challenge for you to overcome just how patient and poised she was. And you know, when people start playing these kind of cards, this is the same thing in like Omarosa. You know, if she doesn't get her way or whatnot, and she starts recording everything from like day one, she already had a plan, a negative plan, and she played everyone. She played Republicans and Democrats alike. She played Trump. She played everyone, and I'm not even sure. Maybe maybe her and Trump are in this game together. I don't know, but you know, it has to come down to, why does it have to come down to using those threats when you're put in a corner as a minority? Why? I could tell you at one of my jobs, I know that I did end up getting let go because I won't even go there. But it has a lot to do with me being gay. So let's leave it at that. But I do know from experience that you don't pull out cards like this unless you know for certain these things are happening. That was not happening. It wasn't because you're a woman. That was you showing that you were scared, that you tried to take every tactic out of your book, just like all these other race baiters do as well. I used to have so much respect for Serena. I mean, God, you're a tennis superstar. And that's the other fucked up thing here, is whoever that woman was, okay, when they were doing the awards ceremony, the first place and the runner-up, whatever, for Serena and Osaka here, they ended up saying, Serena, this one lady said, Serena, you're the champion of champions.
It's now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the board and president of the USTA, Katrina Adams. Katrina.
Thank you, Tom. Naomi, welcome to the big stage. Serena, welcome back. These 2 weeks, you two have showed your power, your grace, and your will to win. Perhaps it's not the finish that we were looking for today, but Serena, you are a champion of all champions. Perhaps it's not the finish that we were looking for today. Perhaps it's not the finish that we were looking for today. 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 This is not the finish that we were looking for today. This is not the finish that we were looking for today.
I know that everyone was cheering for her, and I'm sorry it had to end like this. I just want to say thank you for watching the match. Thank you.
I'm like, okay, come on. This is not the time or place to be doing this. You guys have already shunned Naomi to death. I mean, yeah, these are big names, these are millionaires and whatnot, but at the same time, looking at this young girl's face, this 20-year-old's face who's up and coming, I just can't, when she was on the podium, she's up there crying. She was up there crying. I'm not sure if she thought, you know what, this wasn't worthy of a match because of the way that the outcome happened and whatnot. I don't know, but I watched her and I almost wanted to cry with her. It just sucked to see her that way. And have that moment taken away from her, and the crowd booing. That you guys are the fucked up ones too. This crowd just booing and booing and booing, and then that lady saying, "Oh yeah, Serena, you're the champion of champions, and this may not have been the outcome everybody was wanting." What? Really? You're showing your fucking bias. Look, appreciate the game for what it is, and once somebody wins, you respect the winner. You respect the winner. You give them the utmost respect, and from there. After all that, you could say, Serena, you played a good game, you won some and you lost this one, whatever. Don't put her on a pedestal above Naomi at this point in time. That was completely uncalled for. Completely uncalled for. It was Naomi's night. You kept trying to overshadow it, saying it wasn't the outcome we were all expecting or wanting, and then telling her she was a champion of champions. Makes absolutely no fucking sense. Now, Serena, I'm half and half with Serena right now. I can't stand the cards she played. The mother card, the woman card, the sexist card. It really baffles me. It baffles me. A multimillionaire, I think last reported on Google or something, $88 million net worth, if not more. I'm just going off of what I've heard. And this, you're gonna win some, lose some. I don't like the argument she played because then and then you see these commercials out here of her being the queen of queens. Not when you act like that. Maybe a drama queen. Maybe a, what do you call those? Diva. Maybe a diva. And to me, diva has a negative connotation. Maybe to other people it doesn't, but to me a diva is somebody who's a fucking brat. An adult brat is what a diva is. And maybe a young brat too, but adults for the most part.
Now watch the queen conquer.
Wrong.
Only fools don't take chances. If you wanna be on top, you gotta work every single moment. Cause others act to your spot. All the suckers scream and shout. They don't know what it's all about. This is my world, and I'm sorry. This table is reserved. I'm all way up. Now what you think about that?
So, I'm really pissed off at you for being a representative of the tennis community, of even the black community, the minority community, and you acting this way. However, I will give you kudos and props during that, after you got told and by that lady when you were doing the award ceremony that you were the queen or the champion of champions and that nobody was wanting this outcome or whatever, and it just ridiculous. and the crowd was booing, you fucking crowd, you stupid ass crowd. You actually did an awesome thing. You said, let's stop the booing. This is her day. You know, give her an applause. You know, she worked hard. She played a great couple games here, couple sets, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to give you huge kudos on that. I'm not a complete ass.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to do questions. I just want to tell you guys she played well, and this is her first Grand Slam. I know you guys were here rooting, and I was rooting too, but let's make this the best moment we can, and we'll get through it. But let's give everyone the credit where credit's due, and let's not boo anymore. We're gonna get through this, and let's be positive. So congratulations, Naomi. No more booing. That's what I said. That's why I was like, I don't want to answer the questions. This is her moment, and like, stop booing, because she doesn't deserve that. I don't deserve it. The people on the tennis court didn't deserve it. They were all here to see tennis, and she played an amazing match, and she deserved the credit, and she deserved to win. And at the end of the day, that's what it was.
And even in the post interview, you were more poised than you were, but at the very end, oh God, and then the Nike shirt. I mean, come on. Okay, whatever. So anyways, you were pretty good in on that post-interview, that 10-minute interview, up until the last minute and a half where you started saying you're a mother and you do this and it was just like, okay, this has nothing to do with sports. This is all your feelings.
For me, it blows my mind. But I'm going to continue to fight for women and to fight for us to have equal. Like, Courtney should be able to take her shirt off without getting a fine. Like, this is outrageous. You know, and I just feel like the fact that I have to go through this is just an example for the next person that has emotions and that want to express themselves, and they want to be a strong woman, and they're going to be allowed to do that because of today. Maybe it didn't work out for me, but it's going to work out for the next person.
I don't know. And every sport's going to have their figure like that. So it's a known item. So I can't say that I hate it or I like it. I don't watch tennis all that much anymore. Really, I don't. I used to watch it back in a different life, but I don't watch it these days. But I can definitely see that Naomi, wow, I love the freshness of just how different she is. In comparison to a lot of other tennis athletes that I know. She was apologetic. She apologized to the crowd. She's like, I'm sorry about the outcome and the way that things happened. And I'm like, oh my God, the girl has the humility of, of a saint. And I'm exaggerating. I am. But you don't see that in a lot of athletes these days. You don't, and it's just so refreshing to see how humble and unself-entitled she was. She was not. She knows that she's good. She went up there and tried her all, and I think this is part of her Japanese culture. I really do think it seems that way. And she, she's even funny without even knowing she's funny. She was talking about just a beautiful soul. I mean, she was like, what do your parents think about this? She's like, well,
she sacrificed a lot for me, and it means a lot for her to come and watch my matches because she doesn't normally do that anyways. So all we're missing is my dad, but he doesn't physically watch my matches. He walks around, so I'll see him later.
Cute moment. She won my heart, I'll tell you that. It has been a long time since an athlete's won my heart, and she definitely did. And then there was another interview where the crowd in the back, okay, it was like a I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't where she got the trophy or anything. It was where she was sitting down with about 3 other sports analysts, and the background was all the crowd. And the crowd, she was giving her interview, and she's very, not stern, but she's very statuesque, like where she just doesn't have emotion on her face. And I can tell you what, I can relate, because a lot of people in my career and in my life think I don't know how to show emotion, and I do sometimes believe that's true. So when I was watching her, I'm like, wow, I can definitely tell what kind of person she is. She's reserved. She's an introvert, it seems like, and also she's very quiet. She doesn't give herself too much credit. She might know that she's good, but she doesn't brag about it, and she won't throw it in your face. That's the kind of person she seems like to me, especially with the way she was talking about Serena. She didn't know what happened during the matches, like how all the points were starting to be awarded to her, and the games for these sets during the last set anyways. And she's like, everything was just kind of surprising. She's like, I just go in there and I played patient. I just tried to imagine it wasn't Serena, but the night before she had butterflies, whatever. Then the crowd started cheering, Naomi, 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 or something like that, over and over and over again. Normally an athlete would turn around, acknowledge their fans, say hi and cheer and be appreciative. Naomi wasn't like that, and I don't think that she wasn't appreciative. I just think that it was customary for her not knowing how to act in this American sport. I'm sorry, this atmosphere here. She's probably not accustomed to that kind of a reaction. So she appreciated it, I'm pretty sure. And they kept doing it, I think 2 or 3 times. And she turned around, she smiled a little bit, and then she turned back and she paid attention to what she was doing, conversing with everybody else, with the panelists. And at the very end of the meeting, or at the very end of the interview, they asked, one of the panelists asked, well, we saw you smile. We saw you smile a little earlier. We saw you smile a little earlier, and we want to see if you can give us another smile again before we leave. And she smiles, cute smile. Cute girl. And it was a great interview. This girl's a star. In my book, she's a star, and a refreshing alternative to the gender baiting, race baiting, un-American, unpatriotic, self-entitled athletes of today, in my opinion. So, what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, this was quite a weekend for sports. I would say it was the football started, and I'm not paying attention to that shit. So that's my thought. Naomi, you're a badass. Serena, I knocked you down a couple of points because you played all these cards, and while none of those things mattered to you actually making errors. Oh my God, I just realized this. It's like when somebody gets caught and then they give every excuse in the book. It wasn't me, and then it was this, and it's all about sexism, and it's this, and it's that, and I'm a woman, and you're treating me bad. It's like when officers have to deal with people like that. Now, granted, this guy's not an officer. I'm not putting Serena in that level or anything. I still think Serena's obviously an amazing tennis star. But again, you can't really take somebody seriously when they have attitudes like that. And then you can go watch all of her other reels. Go watch the highlights of when she has these temper tantrums. She doesn't infrequently have them. She frequently has them. So, and again, just like all the other guys out there and a lot of other women tennis players, they all have their tantrums. Some just hold it better than others. Naomi seems to be one that's holding it better than everybody else at this point. What are you guys' thoughts? Did you watch this match? It's probably the only sporting event I've watched in a long time, and I thought it was great. Minus the crap, obviously, but that's what drew me into it. Leave your comments below. Like, share, hate, subscribe. Follow me on Gab. Follow me on BitChute. You can follow me on Twitter, but I'm kind of leaning more towards Gab at this point, and going from there. All right, guys. Peace out.
And can you describe the motion that you made that was interpreted by the chair umpire as coaching?
Oh, wait. Where's my camera? I need new pictures for MySpace. Oh, hello. I look so hot today. That sucks. My MySpace friends need to comment to pictures. Whatever. I hope at least people in the city will see me today. Everyone should see me today. Everyone. Bye, bitches.